But so can I tell you a quick story about something that really means a lot to me about the animals in the care, how much individual care they get. There was a little Chihuahua that was brought to our shelter, and it was named Lola because my daughter saw it online and named it Lola. The call came into our rescue department that I don't even know what this is. I think there's a dog in my backyard. It was about a 3.5 pound, just bones, no fur left. Lola had no bottom jaw, no teeth left. And my staff gave it such care that it would bring tears to your eyes to see how they cared for that animal. And what's most powerful is that they cared for it until they finally found it a special needs home. It had to be fed wet food, and it died 30 days later. But it died in a home. It died in a home with a family and not cold in somebody's backyard. And that's what the support to our organization makes happen.
I remember that was there a story about that on the news, or
it didn't make the news, and that's what I love about it. It was powerful, and it was just done because it was the right thing to do. And there are hundreds of stories just like that every day at our shelters.
So how hard is it to actually adopt a cat or a dog? Is it as simple as seeing it on TV and calling the number and you go get your dog, or you must have some process that people go through?
Are you asking for a friend, or is this?
I might. I know some people.
Hey, if you know some
my dog's pretty old.
So the process is pretty simple. What we want to do is just have a conversation with you. It's not an interview. It's not an evaluation of your willingness or ability to be a pet owner. It's really about, we want to find the right pet for you in the right situation for you, so that you find something that lives the rest of your life. Anyone who's ever had a pet knows the value they have to us, and we want to give that experience to you just like we give it to tens of thousands of people every year.
Yeah, because I always think, like, I'll watch it on TV and I'll see this one dog. I'll say, oh, that dog's so cute, I have to have that dog. But I realize that dog may go to someone else. So how do you get the people to come in and fall in love with all the dogs that are there?
Okay. So we use technology a little bit for that too. So there's a recent study that found that 80-something% of people first look at an animal online before they go on and check it out at shelters. And we use technology of multiple sites. We use our own website. People just come in. We do off-site adoption events. So we operate 4 shelters: Howell, Rochester Hills, Westland, and Detroit. We also have an adoption center in Sterling Heights at the Petco near Lakeside Mall. And then we have multiple satellite facilities too, so there's no shortage of opportunities.
And on that point, is it or is it not a no-kill shelter?
So that's a great term. We actually don't engage in using that term. We find it to be a little bit divisive, but it's a great question because nothing loses its life at our facility unless it's irremediably suffering or dangerous. We take our obligation to public safety seriously. Our medical staff does incredible things every day. This is a great example. But under any definition, we would be. But we just don't use that because we want to be more of a convener and a collaborator in the community and draw organizations together. And I think in order for us to do that and fill gaps in resources, we're successful if every other organization in Detroit is adopting their animals too. Every animal in this community is ours.
So if the animal is not dangerous and the animal is not and is savable, you do everything in your power to save it.
Oh, they're going to find a home.
Is this little Lola?
That's Lola right there.
So let me get a close-up on Lola. Beautiful little animal. And I love that somebody took the dog knowing that it wasn't going to be around that long, and it's a beautiful story. How many animals do you guys have at home with all your kids? And
So I almost had Lola before I realized I was probably not the right home. I have a little 3-legged Chihuahua named Rocky, who is just fantastic.
That's my cameraman's name.
I know
Rocky.
it is. He is the absolute love of my life. He's never within 5 feet from me. And he's a great story, too. We amputated his front leg. He's got 2 pretty serious issues with his back knees. He was hit by a car in Detroit, hit by a truck in Detroit. And we amputated his leg, got him ready for adoption, not because I was interested, but again, because it was the right thing to do. And then I also have a little Cocker Spaniel who's getting up there in age. He's about 11, 12 years old, named Blondie, who I adopted when I was the director of Memphis Animal Services. I like to tell people I have 4 wild animals and 2 beautiful dogs.